Hello, and welcome to the Mommy and Me podcast. This podcast is hosted by a mommy and daughter duo. We dive deep into the things of life from our very own perspectives. We help Generation X, Millennials, and Generation Z deal with the trials of life. We cross-connect the age groups to see eye to eye and get a better understanding of why we each do what we do. So stay tuned and let's get into the episode. You can have your question answered directly from us. Now, we won't address you directly. We won't say your name. So That's fine. Keep privacy. But definitely. So, all right. So we have a submission today.
Yes, we do. And I'm excited about it.
I am too. All right. So let's read out the question and then let's get into it.
Let's do it.
Okay, so the question was, being born in 2000, a lot has changed in society. How I was raised was different from how my mom was raised, how my niece was raised, and my coming nieces and nephews. My question is, how do you make a house a home? This is for the both of you.
Wow. Okay. The making of a home. How do you make a house a home? What are your thoughts, first of all, Nikki?
Oh, man. Okay. Well,
Spotlight. Go ahead. It's okay.
You're asking the one I was going to ask you. I asked you how to make a home. Shoot.
Okay. Well, let me go ahead if you want. That's fine. I can start. The making of a home. When I first moved out at the age of 19, I did not know what I was looking for in a home. I just knew that I wanted my own space. And eventually, you bring in items to be able to say, oh, I like this here. I had the 1980s wicker chair because, we thought that was cool back then. The wicker and the rattan and the big palm fronds hanging over it and, things like that. Have the nice statues because, let's go ahead and put some strong art pieces in the place and fill the space with something like that, because we think that that's what's going to make our home. Comfy beds, comfy sofas. I love a good sectional where you can just get up in the sectional with your throw blanket and just read or watch TV and just feel like you could put your feet up and be at home. Mm-hmm. Warm lighting and colors and greenery and mixed textures, window treatments. All of that is well and good. But the making of a home goes beyond the decoration. It goes into the actual spirit of the home. Mm-hmm. It's not just the structure, it's the feeling that you get when you're at home. Now, I was talking to my husband about this earlier. I said, what do you think? What makes a home to you? And he looked at me and he said, you. And I said, okay.
All right. What a response. Okay.
I know. Let's extrapolate on that. What do you mean me? He says, home is a feeling. Home is where the heart is. And when it's biblical also, a man buys a home, a man buys a house, the woman makes it a home,
right,
by what she brings into it. So when you think of the elements of comfort, warmth, safety, nurturing, protection, and a space to be able to grow and feel comfortable, confident, and safe, is reminiscent of the womb.
Ooh.
Right?
Wow. Okay. Wow.
Okay.
All
so
right.
When a woman creates a home, or when anybody really creates a home, it's taking you back to where you first felt safe, where you first felt that feeling of, I'm okay, I'm loved. You're enveloped in an environment of familiarity,
right,
and things that you can really attach to and say, this is my home because this is here or that's there, right? But you want to be able to relax and relate. And when you relate, you're creating a connection. That's what, when I looked at the word relate, it means to create a connection with your relatives, right? And so as you connect, connection means to bring together, bring into contact so that a link is established. And links are not easily broken. So this thing goes really, really deep in terms of what makes a home. It goes much deeper than just having a structure. So what do you think the elements are of making a home?
That's really good, first of all.
Thank you.
But, initially I thought, back in high school, I was like, okay, well, when I get a home, when I get my own house, this is how I want my home to look like, just as you started off with. I thought I wanted this nice matte black sectional with the all white house and, pops of color, and I still like that. But I understand now, being a wife, that that's not what makes a home. Mm-mm. You can have hand-me-downs. You can have, just maybe not the nicest looking things, but, as a woman, you have like this gift of creativity. Women are naturally creative. We can find ways to make a house a home. Mm-hmm. So as far as the element of the home, I now understand, like you said, it's the environment. Mm-hmm. What we bring in the home, it changes the environment. Mm-hmm. Even in the womb, the attitude of a mother affects the child.
Oh my gosh, you are so right. The baby, the child, the fetus feels it. Mm-hmm. They can sense if you're upset. They can sense if you're happy. They can sense if you're sad and if you're crying, and it impacts them. So in their environment, in their home, they're being affected. Mm-hmm. So what makes a home is what you actually bring to the table. Everybody's spirit coming together to be able to set the tone for what's happening in that space. Okay. Wow. Yeah. But yeah, when you walk in the door, like Ryan, your brother always says, when he comes home, he just feels like he wants to just lay down and sleep. You know why? The womb effect. The womb effect. You come in and you're like, it's familiar, it's comfortable. I just want to rest. And that's what you really want to, well, at least that's what I want, to be able to come home and see. When I go home to my mother and I see all the little trinkets that she has and everything so nicely laid out and everything, I'm like, this is love. This is what I know, what I grew up with. And so in turn, I want that for my children as well.
You definitely done a great job at that over the years, for sure. Like, yeah, I don't know. I love coming home. I love relaxing. Yeah. I love when you have the windows open, unless it's cold. Yeah.
That's true. Because I love a window open, natural air just blowing through. And the way our home is situated, we don't have any houses to one side of us and in the back of us. I have a neighbor adjacent on one side, but nothing else. And when the weather is nice and crisp and the wind is blowing, we throw all the windows open, and it is so peaceful and it's relaxing and cool. And we all just sit there in the living room and just enjoy. You with your blanket.
Always. I have to have the blanket because I don't know when to close the windows. But
better stop.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It's true. It's okay. Hey, y'all. Let's take a quick break to shout out our sponsors. Who are you? How are you supposed to behave? And what in the world is a woman's true identity? Society has had women confused about who they really are. But no more. In 60-Day Affirmations for Daughters, Wives, and Mothers, Nicole dives deep into the Bible and breaks down who you really are in Christ. In this book, you'll realize who you are, what you're called to do, and recognize the power and authority that is gifted to you as the daughter of the Most High God. This is not a book to skip over. If you are someone or you know someone that's been struggling to discover their identity, this is the book for you. So don't wait any longer. Grab your book, grab your copy by going to NicoleCOdom.com/books. Again, that's NicoleCOdom.com/books. Now let's get back into the episode. So we understand now that the woman is what makes the home, but what tangible steps can we give women, right?
Mm-hmm.
For me personally, what I learned is that prayer.
Mm-hmm.
I always if I'm not right, if I don't start my mornings off right, everything else in the day gets just messed up.
Mm-hmm.
And I also learned, I created a habit of anointing my home the first 3 days of the month. I anoint my home, I pray over my home, or within the first 3 days. I may not do it every single day within the first 3 days, but in those first 3 days, I anoint my home, I pray over my home.
Yes.
And that's how I begin the month, for example.
That is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yes, because you are setting the tone for what you want and what you expect and what you will accept in your environment.
Exactly.
Okay. So definitely praying over your space for what you want in your space.
Right.
Will go a long way when, evil spirits or people with bad intentions try to come at you or come through you. Your home is a safe haven. It's a safe haven that you should be able to say, okay, I'm leaving everything outside and I'm coming into this safe womb of a space.
Right.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Now, so praying over your home, I would also say, don't let people in your house. Just don't let them in. It may sound cruel, but don't let every and anybody into your home because you don't know what's attached to them. You don't know what they're bringing in. They may be coming in, oh, I want to see your new home. Oh my goodness, I got to come by and just drop by and see you. Don't drop by with all of that. No. Mm-mm. Leave your energy, your bad mind, having self, your negativity out there because we're not doing that in here.
Right.
Protect your space, protect your peace, and just know that your children will thrive better for it. And so will you.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. Yeah. And I know when we were younger, of course, you let our friends come over. Mm-hmm. We did have like an open house policy regarding our friends because you wanted to ensure that we were safe, right? You created a safe environment for us. Right. But I noticed that you did not allow all adults to come over. You kept our home pretty safe. You would meet your friends outside the house, or you would have, it was different. Mm-hmm. It was different. If you did bring a friend over, they were vetted.
Right. Yeah. And I'd have to have known them for a while. The reason I wanted you to have your friends over is because I can see where you are and what you were doing. while you were still having fun with your friends. I didn't care what with respect to exactly what game you were playing, or, you know, you're kids, you're going to have fun. But what I was most concerned with is who is around you influencing you, because I can't control that when you are off in someone else's environment and sending you to someone else's womb. Okay. I can't do that.
Wow.
Yes, because the nurturing starts and ends at home.
Wow.
So, you know, hey, the kid will able to come over and eat, come over, do whatever you need to do here at my home. Now, everybody's like, well, if I'm sure you're probably thinking, well, if everybody had that same mentality, then no one would be at anybody's home. It's not everyone has that mentality. So those that do. Right. Those that do have that mentality, go ahead and keep that mentality for the benefit of your child.
It's safety.
Yeah.
I don't think people actually realize how dangerous people can be, no matter how close or how much they think they know somebody. I've heard a lot of horror stories, even here, just being on base with babysitters that people think they know. It's actually extremely sad. It's extremely sad. These kids should not be left alone with these strangers, or even the friends that their parents think that they know.
Yeah.
For the safety of your child, for the safety of your environment, again, just be careful who you let inside your home.
And if you have that feeling that you shouldn't, follow that feeling.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't second guess yourself. Don't try to be in denial and try to give them the benefit of the doubt. Don't do that. Just say, I'm not really feeling comfortable, or however you decide to word it. Still be kind about it. You know, you don't have to be rude, but just say like, hey, I'm not comfortable. And that's okay. Yeah. You don't have to explain why. Just, I'm not comfortable with that. Let's go out somewhere else.
Exactly.
So the third thing, cleanliness.
Yes, cleanliness. So I love clean floors and clean carpets. When you walk in, it hits you. Okay, you pick up you can clean off your counters and have nice clean windows and mirrors and all of that. Everything's put away. But if you don't have clean floors, okay, and clean walls, you know, the handprints on the walls and everything, if that is not a thing for you, it's as if you have gotten dressed up in the most amazing couture gown or your best tux, and your hair is unkempt and your makeup is off. It's not, it doesn't go, it doesn't flow.
Right.
You know? So clean the floors, clean your vents, you know, things, it's the air. It's what's in the air that counts.
Right.
You know, so think of it when you go into a hotel space, you go into a hotel room and you see everything is nice and neat and put away. Aren't you looking at the floors to make sure that they vacuumed?
Right.
Okay, don't go into the bathroom and have hair on the floor in the corner or something like that, or spills on the floor in the kitchen area if they have one.
Right.
Or the mini bar or anything like that. So it's a big thing. Clean your floors, clean your carpets, keep your air space, change your air filters. You know, but the making of a home is you just want it cozy, warm, safe, and nurturing.
Absolutely. And, you know, the other day I was on the phone with my husband and he saw me just like get down on, you know, the floor. And I pulled out some, what's it called? Some Clorox wipes. And I just started scrubbing the walls because we have fingerprints on the walls. We have crayons on the walls. We have crayons on the wall. We have what was it about the trash can? There was some food on the wall, and I'm like, I can't have it. I don't want that, so I just got down and did it, and it makes a difference. Like he said something about it yesterday too. He was like, wow, that actually looks really good. Like you look like you did all the walls. And I was like, no, I didn't. I just did one side. He's like, it makes that much a difference.
It does.
When I know here on base, for example, we have these brown carpets to cover up stains. But there are still some stains that can be visible. I found at the store, though, there's like this spray where you just spray it on the spot, leave it for about 5 minutes, and come back and scrub it off. When I do that, it makes such a difference. And it's the little things. Create an environment, keep the dishes clean, make sure that by the end of the night, you have your dishes in the dishwasher. So throughout your day, put your dishes in the wash and just start it at midnight or whatever time. But
you wake up to a nice clean kitchen. You wake up to clean dishes, which now need to be put away, but at least they're clean and you can start the day fresh. I always like going to bed with a clean house and waking up knowing that we can start fresh.
Absolutely.
And my thing is, and I think I've said it before in one of our other, episodes, is just because it's garbage doesn't mean it has to look like trash. And I mean that thing. Just because it collects a receptacle to collect trash and garbage, clean it up. You don't have to have food caked up and drinks spilled all over and splashed all over the area, because that can breed bacteria over time that you don't even realize. And if you have children crawling around or are young enough to be touching the walls, that can get them sick as well.
Absolutely.
So keep that space clean.
Yeah. And the last thing I would say is, like you said, the atmosphere, light up a nice candle, get some nice smell goods in your home.
That's great. That's right. Plug it in.
Home. My goodness. With the aroma of your home is impactful. Get some nice candles, do some homemade cooking, bake some cookies. It makes a difference when you walk inside, when your husband walks inside your door, and he gets a whiff of that home cooked dinner, or breakfast or lunch, whatever it is. It brings a smile to somebody's face.
Yes, it does. Yeah, I agree. So cook either that, or even if you don't want to cook, put some a pot of boiling water on the stove and throw some bay leaves and some cinnamon sticks in that guy, and then let that aroma warm your home. So, but do it with love.
Absolutely.
Because the essence of making a home is whatever you do, to do it with love and good intention. For whoever walks through that door will know that they're in a space that has been cultivated by love.
That's so good, Mom. Well, thank you guys for joining this episode. Be sure to submit your questions. We'd love to answer your questions, whether they be added to this season or the next. I so look forward to answering them. Mom looks forward to answering them. This helps us, and connect with you guys. So be sure to go to www.operationgirlsidentity.com/Mommy Me Podcast. I think that's the link. I don't know. Just check the links in the description. Also, be sure to follow us on social media. Share this with whomever needs to hear it, because
that's why it's out there.
Exactly. We got to make sure that we reach people. Come on, guys. It's not just for your benefit. Don't be selfish.
We're just kidding. Just kidding.
Kidding, guys. Kidding. Okay. Please. But y'all. So thank you for joining. Mom, do you have anything else to say?
No. Thank you for submitting your questions. And until the next time, fist bumps and deuces. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.